Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podcastjuice.net. My name is Michael Dean, and joining me today, we have a special guest, Mr. St. Paul Peterson in the house. Sir, how are you?
So good. Great to be back with you guys. Really, this is really cool. I bet you can hear me this time on this interview.
Yes. We're not fighting
the
windstorm
I had in Maui. That was pretty crazy.
Man, we still was like, our ears was trained to it, so it was all good. We appreciate you coming on today. And also joining me is Mr. Big Sexy and Saxer. How are you?
I'm doing well, recovering and relaxing from the holidays.
All right.
Big Sexy in the house.
Well, today we are here because, Paul, you have a new release coming out. You Got to Love. And listen, before I get to you, I just say I listened to this song and I just had to say thank you, because one of the things I always be like, man, I wish these cats would just come with that old faithful Minneapolis, you know what I'm saying, jam, and you have provided. So 2019 is already off to a great start, man. So
thank you.
Man, that was a legit jam. I was like, okay, sometimes we keep it 100. We were listening, associate from Minneapolis, they putting something out. I'd be like, oh, okay, let me check it out. Okay, yeah. I'm like, where the funk at?
Get the stamp from you guys, man. That means a lot. I can't help myself. Being a part of that from so many years back, to tip my hat to that sound, it's more natural than anything else. So when you start breaking out the old funk sounds, I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It's where I come from, with the little, extra stuff on there. And I think that it's a real honest approach to this song. And I think it's a great message for the times that we're living in. And I hope you all dig it.
Yeah, we do. And,
definitely.
In terms of the message, what was sort of the inspiration, behind this song?
You don't get to be this old without learning a couple life lessons. So I was trying to send some positivity into the world simply because we've been struggling with not having enough of that with all that's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. Struggle for me to do that is that sometimes when you try to put a positive lyric in a song, it can come off as super cheesy. So we marinated on this song. My nephew Jason Peterson Dallaire, who co-wrote and co-produced this. By the way, if you don't know him, he was in Carmen Electra and Solo and a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And so he's super talented and came up under me, and the whole Peterson family went to school on Prince and the Family and the Time and all that. But anyways,
wow.
To be able to he's the one who reminds me. He's like, "Oh, come on, let's come with a funk." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." To be able to put a positive message in a song can sometimes, you got to be careful that it doesn't come off as cheesy. So like I was saying, we did marinate on this for a little while, and we finally got all the right elements together to bring this message to the people, because what I've learned in my many years on the planet is that, the thing what you got to do is you got to live your life to the fullest. You got to learn from the mistakes that you've made and move on and be a better person because of them, because that's part of the journey. Most importantly, you got to love, because what are we without the love, man? That's something I hope that people take to heart. That's what the chorus lyric is. You got to live, you got to learn, you got to love.
Wow. Okay. Now I got to ask you, a man of your wisdom, right? What was, if you can, like what mistakes would have St. Paul have made in life?
Oh, come on. What this interview supposed to be? Where do I start? I will generalize, but you learn things, for instance, like my departure from the Prince camp, my departure from bands, my mistakes I've made as a father or as a husband or whatever, as a businessman, these are things, they're not necessarily all catastrophes, but they are, if you choose to, they can be life learning moments, and you can turn these negatives into positives. For some reason, that's the way I'm wired. You can't, if you don't screw up in life, you don't learn anything.
Wow. Okay.
So I choose to take whatever things that I have maybe not done well and learn from them and turn them into positives and come out even stronger on the other side. So that's general enough, but look, we all have our different flavors of that particular story. And if I can inspire people to go, there is hope and love and understanding on the other side of when we mess up, then I've done my job as a musician.
All right. Now, is this song from a larger project, like an album coming later?
It took me 2 years to finish this song, so that's a hard question to answer.
Okay.
What it's done is it's inspired me to do music for myself. You guys know that I've been involved in so many different things, whether it's F Deluxe or the project with Eric Leeds Peterson Music, St. Paul and the Minneapolis Funk All-Stars. But the last time I put out a St. Paul record was a long time ago. So long ago that some kid called St. Paul and the Broken Bones didn't check to see if I was dead yet.
Wow.
And it's my name.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Okay.
Right. I'm going to leave it right there.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right? But he's funky. I mean, he's a talented kid, but he forgot to check and see if I was still using it. It's only me, only my name that was given to me 33 years ago.
Say that.
So I'm out to prove something to myself that creativity never dies, man, and it's just prioritizing myself for a change of pace.
All right. I'm going to go to Big Sexy next, but I wanted to say this too, man. One thing I always admire about you, as I watch you, follow you online and different things, is you're always working, man. Like there's always another project, there's a performance, there's always something going, and I really I like that, man. I'm like, man, this cat is always working, striving to be better and just active, man, which is good to see. A lot of times our favorite musicians that we follow, they'll fall out for a while or whatever. But, man, you seem to always bounce back and just keep going, man. What's the secret behind that?
I'm a hustler, man. That's what it is.
I'm a hustler, man.
I ain't? No, I mean, I am a working musician, and I've raised my family on that. I've purchased houses and cars and stuff being a musician. That not a lot of people can say. I mean, it's not a business for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But my thing is that I love to be versatile. The other thing is that I love to give back to my community. So I've done a lot of concerts for our local Southdale YMCA, our local school called Fraser that helps people with mental disabilities. I've also worked with Jewish housing before, just in raising money for these great places through music and my ability to get really cool people together. For instance, I did the St. Paul and the Minneapolis Funk All-Stars, and Kirk Johnson came to play, Chance Howard came to play, Oliver Lieber came to play, Jelly Bean Johnson, and this was for the Southdale YMCA, and we raised them a bunch of money. I love doing that. I love curating those kind of things, and it's just another way to stay active. And I don't know. I think I'd be really bored if I wasn't working all the time, fellas.
I hear that. Big Sexy, I'm gonna pass it to you.
Oh, thank you, Paul. First of all, let me say thank you because your new release captures just what Mike and I have been talking about off air for the last several weeks. I'll go to Mike and say, Mike, where is the funk, man? Where is it? And then he sent me this. I'm like, okay, now we're talking. So cool. Thank you for bringing that back to the forefront. In line with your working, constantly, you recently did a Nothing Compares to Prince tour in Sydney. Tell us about that.
Right. The last time I spoke with you guys, I was just kind of getting my last bit of vacationing in and taking a deep breath before I entered into that. So, guys, it was really, really cool. It was a lot of work because I was the musical director. So I had to assemble the cast and crew with a little help from some friends, but also curate the perfect playlist so we did not only the hits, but we did some things that were geared at the Prince fans who really, they've been there since day one. So we didn't do necessarily all the obvious things. We would pull some cool songs out, some covers that, he would write for other people. But I think the cool thing for me was that I got to meet a lot of the younger generation that played with Prince towards the end. I did not know Shelby. I did not know Liv. I did not know the NPG horns. I did not know Queen Cora. It was such an opportunity for me, and they were so pro. I mean, the thing that binds us is that we all went through that camp. So everybody did their homework. Everybody left their ego at the door. We all came for one sole purpose, and that was to keep Prince's music alive for the fans, because that's what it's really all about. So they came in with a great attitude. We had a blast. We went over to Sydney and played 2 shows at the Sydney Opera House, which were off the hook. I mean, think of it, guys. That's a life moment for me, playing the Sydney Opera House.
I can imagine.
Look, I've been to Sydney a bunch of times, but I've been on the outside of the Sydney Opera House looking at it, as many people have. But to be able to say that I've played inside of there, man, that's a dream come true. I was pinching myself, and these brothers and sisters were so into it and great. And the Purple family that's in Australia is thick and deep, and they love all things Minneapolis. So wow. I'm really appreciative to those guys for believing that, and coming to see this show. By the way, we also went down to Melbourne and played down there. We just had a great time, and I actually got to know Taika because she came with us as well, and she's just a little sweetheart.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And those were like 2 sold-out nights, right? Like
2 sold-out nights. You know who just walked in is my brother Ricky, who was with me. Say hi to Big Sexy and Mike.
Well, what's up, man? Boys, what's happening?
What's up, Ricky?
What's going on?
How are you guys?
Man, we got to get you on the show, man.
Well,
let's go.
You should, because he just had a #1 jazz record, and he's on the road with Fleetwood Mac right now.
Oh, say no more.
Really? Nice. Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
So he's coming in here. We share a studio space. So I was up bright and early working on something, and now he's coming in. We're like the tag team championship of the world down there.
Peterson brothers.
That's right. We're actually cutting a record, the Peterson brothers. Me, Billy, my brother Billy, and Ricky. I'm playing drums on this. Billy's playing bass on B3, and my nephew Jason, who we just talked about, is playing tenor. Or no, alto, whatever. Some
alto.
Is he playing alto? So that's really fun. So,
all right.
Sorry,
that's the exclusive right there.
Got Ricky, and that's I want to introduce him and have him say hi to all your fans out there too.
Man, for sure, we love him. I've heard the name is ringing out for many years, so it's a pleasure to meet you over the air at least.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you guys, and let's talk soon, man. That would be fun.
We will.
Definitely.
All right.
I'll hook y'all up.
Yes, you are. Put him on the payroll. Get him. He got another bag coming. That's St. Paul.
No, party's on him right now.
All right. So, want to make sure also now you this release is moving to a concert that you're having at the Ice House out there, release party. When is this happening?
This is January 11th. It's a Friday. It's literally across the street from my studio at Creation Audio, where I'm sitting right now. Beautiful, cool venue that's been around for about 4 or 5 years, and we're going to have a blast. I've got Odell from Mint Condition and the NPG playing guitar with us. My buddy Joe Finger, who played with David Sanborn and Boz Skaggs, flying in for this, and again, my nephew Jason. It's going to be the 4 of us, and you know what it is, man? It's a celebration, and it's all about reconnecting with everybody and saying hi to my fans here in Minneapolis and showing them, the new song that I'm really proud of.
All right, man. So we want to make sure everybody that is local and even not local who want to come in is January 11th, Ice House. Tickets are $20, right? Door opens at 10. You already know they're going to do their thing and throw down. And I got a question for you on that show. I don't put some pressure on you. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do the song "Intimacy"?
It's on the list, but I don't know whether we can do it or not.
Listen.
I'm not sure.
Listen. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Make love to me, baby.
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah, that's a great, man. I love that song. I love that you remember that.
Dude, that's the cut. Like, I still, on the playlist in 2018, it's still up in there, man. That's the
man, that's beautiful. I love hearing that. Man. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what, Paul? Let me kick it down another notch. It's still on the Mac playlist.
There you go.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that. Look, even that song worked for me too. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah, man. I'm like that.
That's why we write, because we want to make sure it works for us too. Good to hear that it works for y'all.
And listen, man, that's one of those classic ones, man. Like I listen to that now. It's funny because obviously, as you know, a lot of the cats today, I'm like, man, if this had came out, a few years back, he'd be right up there. It would be just as popular as a lot of this other stuff, because the same sounds that we hearing today from your, Bruno's and what's my other cat? What's that other cat?
They're bringing it back. It's just like
yeah.
What we did back in the day, what Prince did, is he like took what his favorite stuff was, and then he brought it back to a whole new generation of people, and I think Bruno has done such a cool job of doing that and reintroducing that. And love the fact he loves the old Minneapolis stuff, because it's super ballad, it's super musical, and super funky.
Yeah. I tip my hat to Bruno, man. He's doing his thing. Now, also, just to talk about some of your other groups real quick, because, again, I know you stay busy. I saw you post something recently with you and Eric Leeds. Was that the album you guys recently did or something?
That's Leeds Peterson Music, and it's kind of a funk fusion record. Okay. The record's been done for a little while, but we're holding out because we think we got a really sweet deal. We're in negotiations right now, and I don't want to spoil it, but this record won't get old. It's a classic record. Eric just plays his ass off, man. It's so fun that I feel like I should be paying him money to come into the studio. Number one, because he's so ridiculous, and number two, he's hilarious. So we have this record in the can, and more so, we've got other songs that we've been doing, but we want to make sure that we're doing it right, and it gets a fighting chance to get out there. Okay. It gets the credit and attention that it deserves.
All right. Last thing I wanted to ask you, I wanted to go back to earlier this year, the celebration at Paisley Park. You had the family, you guys performed there, and I just wanted to get your thoughts. I don't think I had talked to you since then. I was curious, what did you think of the performance and just the overall event itself?
Man, let me tell you something. To be back at that house, when we made the record in 1984, is that when we made that record? Anyway, you'll probably know the year better than I would, but Paisley was not built yet. We were down the road right by the Tire Mart in an old warehouse. So to be able to be there together as a family, pun intended, playing in P's house was a beautiful reunion and kind of full circle for everything. And the fans were so great and so genuine. And I really think that they dug it. And we've been performing these songs as F Deluxe as well, but it was fun to come back and kind of hinted at that we were the family at least for those two performances at Paisley. It was pretty incredible. And again, another life moment. 2018 was a great year, man, musically.
Right on, man. Yeah, and the panel discussion you guys had before the performance was hilarious. You ain't lying. Eric Leeds is hilarious.
Eric Leeds, man. I don't even like Prince's music. You see that he's not in my lineup for St. Paul and Minneapolis Funk All-Stars. He's like, I said, Eric, come play this with me. He said, why would I play that with you when I already played it with Prince? I don't want to do that. I'm like, woo. So I get it too from him, but I love him so much. He was over for Thanksgiving, came over for Christmas. One of my dearest friends on the planet.
Right on, man. Shout out to Eric Leeds, man. All
we
right.
love you, Eric. You old crotchety old mama. Big hermit looking.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, I'll hear about that. Make sure don't edit that out.
No. St. Paul, man, again, a pleasure for you to come on. Thank you for the time to come on and visit with us. Again, ladies and gentlemen, You Got to Love. Now, is You Got to Love for sale? Is that out yet? Or
that comes January 4th, so I'm not sure when the podcast will go. But as of January 4th, it'll be available on all digital outlets. So check it out. You know what else I'd love, man, is I'd love some feedback from the fans. So go on either Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Just let me know what you think, because it's important to me, because I make this music for y'all. I don't make it for me. I make it for you guys. One other thing I want to say to you, both of you guys, is all of us artists, the alumni of being around Prince, and we owe you guys a great big thank you for still keeping that alive and allowing us to come on your show, and we can't thank you enough. You guys really keep us artists in the forefront, and you always help us expose new music. So we owe you so much for that, and I want to just say thank you, and I hope to come on many, many more times.
Oh man, this is home for you, sir, and we say you're welcome. And this is our way of giving back to just all the years of music, right? We grew up on this stuff, so we gotta keep it alive. That's what we're here for. So we appreciate you.
Definitely, exactly. Co-sign that.
All right, and to be sure, everyone can find you online at stpaulmusic.com, right? I believe your Twitter is St. Paul Peterson, Instagram St. Paul Peterson. And then Facebook, St. Paul fan page. So you're not hard to find.
You got all that right. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. And again, thank you to you. Thank you, Ricky, in the building over there. And Big Sexy. I'm going to let you take us out today. How about that?
Oh, man, call me off guard. All right. Paul, definitely thank you for joining us today. And Ricky will be seeing you soon. And to borrow from my co-host, working like a job. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
You better say